Now, let me move back to Central and Eastern Europe, to a very important country, a large European country, which is gaining in importance every year, and I mean Romania. And we have George Simon, a member of the Chamber of Deputies, Romania. I would like to ask you about the opportunities for us to find allies for this concept, or supporters of this concept in Romania. Are we going to find allies for the Alliance for Freedom in Europe?
Thank you, Professor Krabnopselski. It's an honor for me to be here, and it's an honor for our young party to join the declaration of the conservatives and the patriots in Europe. It's time for unifying our forces. Why we entered the parliament last year, Romanian parliament, to defend our common values, which are the Christian faith, which are the nation, the family, and the freedom. We hoped for a Europe of freedom and a Europe of prosperity and a Europe of diversity. We shouldn't be obliged to give up our sovereignty, and that is why our party joined the declaration, and that is why our party in Romania is growing each day. Now the polls show us at 50, maybe 20% of the Romanian votes. That is why we think we should be all together, all conservatives, all patriots. In Romania, since 2000, when the Christian Democrats fell out of parliament, we didn't have any conservative party. Everybody says that the West of Europe is lost from our values, from the values of family, of defending the nations, of defending the Christian faith and freedom. But I am here with people from Vox in Spain, Fratelli d'Italia, Italy, and Assemblée Nationale from France. This gives me hope for a common Europe that is what my father and mother fought for, and a Europe that is fighting for freedom, like before the anti-communist partisans.
What are your expectations from Poland and from this event?
My expectation from Poland is to build together a common Europe, a common future, because we have a common history. Between the two world wars, our countries were very close through Marshal Piłsudski, who was a friend of Romania, and I hope his plan Intermarium goes further through Free Seas initiative. Our party and the Law and Justice Party and the other parties that form the current conservative coalition think of an Europe of nations, and we think that Brussels should be more careful when they try to impose a federal state, supra-state on the nations of Europe.
Mr. Simeon, thank you very much for this interview. You are the main figure and the leader of the AUR in Romania, which went through an incredible increase in support, in terms of support. I mean, 2 years ago, you were at approximately 1.2% at the European elections, and now you rose up. You're a member of the parliament in Romania. You talked about the fact that you are not against the EU,
yes,
but you're for Europe of nations.
Yes.
So in that way, you sound pretty close to what the Visegrád 4 is fighting for.
Yes.
How do you see the Visegrád group from the Romanian perspective?
It's a big mistake that Romania didn't enter the Visegrád group. We should have been there with Hungary, with Slovakia, with the Czech Republic, with Poland. We have the same history, we have the same interests, and we will have the same future. and we cannot rely on Germany, who controls now a big part of our external and internal affairs, because Germany will always shake hands with Russia.
This region of Central Europe, which is the 3C initiative territory, aren't you scared that it will become a kind of buffer zone between Germany and Russia, between the US and China, for example? Aren't we getting used in the fight of the big ones?
It all depends on the heads of state and what political, external political views we promote. And from this point of view, I have to say I admire Polish politics, for example, and in some ways the Orban administration for its resistance to what Brussels tries to impose, cultural uniformity that we tried in the Soviet period, and it doesn't work for our people. And I think European Union should remain as a free market zone, as an economical zone, and should be a place for freedom of traveling and doing business. I think it shouldn't be involved in creating its own army or in creating a supra-state or a federal state.
And how do you see the future of the region in the perspective of the whole COVID crisis? You're very. That was the first, also part of the first question.
We were very vocal.
Hostile.
We are not hostile. We are vocal against measures that don't have any use. We don't deny the existence of this virus. We say it's not that big of deal that you have to block the whole area, and maybe Western countries have still some reserves and financial reserves and can do this for 2-3 years, but we cannot afford this, as well as we cannot afford Green Deal, and we cannot afford the new joke of a plan like Fit for 55. This is killing our economy.
About the Romanian diaspora, you're very vocal also about Romania being more supportive about the diaspora, which is quite important, especially in Europe. In the UK, Germany, in Italy, Spain, there are many Romanian citizens working.
They are not working there because it was their will. They are working there because they were obliged to leave Romania because they were poor and couldn't live in a decent manner. So that is why they left. Și aici la forum sunt proteste. O să întrebăm. Hello. I'm a participant at the forum. Yes. I want to ask them what they are protesting about. What are you protesting about? What are you protesting about?
Against experimenting on people, experimenting on children.
With vaccine?
Big vaccine, yeah.
Okay.
We don't like to be children to be vaccine or tested, because tests are false and vaccination are changing DNA.
Oamenii protestează împotriva vaccinurilor. Fascism?
Yes, against fascism to the people.
I'm a member of Romanian Parliament and I will show your protest.
That's great, that's great. We appreciate our Romanian people which don't accept testing and vaccination. Nazis wanna take our freedom away, our money, our life, everything. They wanna take it